The day-to-day of what my career looks like exceeds what I would have ever been capable of at any point in my life of describing as a fantasy. I did not grow up with any sort of music. When I got to high school, I had a really formative choir teacher who changed my life. When college time came around, I walked into Dr. Offerly's voice studio on the first day. He had a big giant poster of Sweeney Todd on the wall. I saw so many productions of Sweeney Todd in high school, and I was like, you have all these musical posters? And he was like, well, yeah, I'm the music director for the musicals and the orchestra in the School of Theater. There was a day where he said, we're having a sitz probe. It's the day that the orchestra plays through all of the orchestra music for the first time with the cast of a musical, and the cast sings along. He said, I'm music directing it. Would you want to come along and be my assistant? I was like, I don't know what to do, but that sounds amazing. After freshman year at UF, I met someone who was a Broadway orchestrator. I was like, oh, this is actually like a career path. That's all the things I love that I had no idea was a career path. It's a very hard field to break into. The stepping stone I kind of chose for it is a role called music assistant, which basically just is the music department assistant to the music supervisor and everyone on it, and you kind of just do a little bit of everything in the music department. I honestly thought when the pandemic hit that I was living the end game dream. I was like just a music assistant I'd finally kind of gotten into the Broadway circuit of those shows. And I was just like crushed. Broadway's going away. I was like, what do I do with myself? I decided to start an orchestra, an all-women and majority women of color orchestra that was originally called the Broadway Sinfonietta. It grew and grew. The Sinfonietta started getting asked to perform as the orchestra for film concerts. We got asked to do that for the world premiere of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse live in Brooklyn, New York. I wrote a cold email to the chief brand officer at Mattel. I have an all-women orchestra and we should do this with an all-Barbie orchestra, and I want to change the creative of the way this is done. Like, what if we made this like the world of it? It just all kind of clicked, and I was like, all of the skills and passions that I have kind of work for this. So I started a company. It's called Overture Global Entertainment. Overture develops film concerts for movie studios as well as other commercial orchestra concerts. The day-to-day of what my career looks like exceeds what I would have ever been capable of at any point in my life of describing as a fantasy. In high school, the senior year, so many of my friends in my school, their moms were in sororities. If there's one thing I remember through all of recruitment week, it was Lexi. I met Lexi and immediately didn't feel like I had to be the girl with stick straight hair trying to look like everyone else and be as white or as blonde or as coming from the right family. I remember running to Lexi on bid day. The first weekend night, school hadn't started yet, I broke my knee. I woke up the next day in the emergency room and I looked up and there are a couple dozen Kappa Deltas crammed into the room in the hallway who were all there. They had taken care of everything. They had used my thumb, contacted my mom. She was already on her way flying in. They'd looked into what dorm I was in, contacted my roommate. They knew that I only had stairs in my dorm, so they talked to all the other girls who has an apartment off campus that's ground floor that I could stay in. There were schedules taped to the wall of all of my classes and social activities and music stuff and exactly who was going to carry me out of my wheelchair to everything. I look back at my freshman year and I had so much confidence even outside of KD. And that came from the fact that Kappa Delta did not miss a beat. There was no opportunity for me to lose confidence because of this happening because they were on it.